everyone, how's it going? It's Tadisha with American Legal Immigration Center. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are returning again, I'm so happy to have you back. For those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Tadisha, as I said before. The name of my law firm is American Legal Immigration Center. I practice primarily immigration law with some family and some other facets of law that are usually intertwined with family. And my firm is based in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. So I'm going to be speaking to you guys today about immigration law, of course. Jumping right into our first topic is marital fraud. Everybody wants to know, if I marry somebody and I'm not yet a legal permanent resident, is USCIS going to consider my marriage to be fraud, or is that question going to come up? The answer is absolutely yes. Why? Because law develops through history as people engage in different scenarios and different circumstances. So at this point, the government has obviously seen enough marital fraud cases that is a prominent and very legitimate question for them when they see an application coming through for someone who is not a permanent resident, who is now looking to get that status through marriage. So marital fraud, which is also known as a sham marriage, means that you are trying to evade the government by getting married solely for immigration benefits. Is that illegal? Yes, it is. It is a federal offense, and it is actually a very serious federal offense. If you find yourself in a marriage just for immigration purposes, you should not enter into that marriage. If you find that you've gone through the whole interview process and immigration is now suspecting that your marriage might be fraud, and they send you a notice of intent to deny, and you know that they're not incorrect in this, then you should probably withdraw your application. That's going to be the best thing for you to do, and there is actually no penalty if you withdraw your application. Guys, we have so many different mechanisms right now to date and find partners. You can always go online. You can date in various ways. You don't have to actually have status to even do dating online. There are plenty of ways for you to enter a marriage legitimately versus committing marital fraud, which, as I said before, is a federal offense. Can you get married if immigration benefits is a part of the reasons for your marriage? So listen to me very carefully when I say this, because I don't want you to get the wrong impression. The issue is, are you getting married only or solely for immigration benefits? In that case, the answer is a flat no. However, if getting immigration benefits, in this case a legal permanent residency, is a part of your reason for getting married, then that is okay. And let's break this down into our everyday circumstances. So you're madly in love with someone and you're now considering spending the rest of your life with this person. Obviously, this person's past, present, and future is going to be of the utmost importance to you, and you're going to want to know what is their status in every regards, what is their background, and where do they plan on going. If this is somebody that you want to spend your life with, you obviously, well, more than likely met them here in the United States, or you'd like to spend your life together in the United States. It wouldn't necessarily make sense for you to plan on getting married if you're not going to actually, in fact, be able to be together. So part of the questioning that you two should have realistically is it possible for you to get your legal permanent residency through our marriage? And if the answer is yes, then there is no reason, there's no law, there's nothing that's stopping you from factoring that into the equation of you two getting married. Now, when you explain this to USCIS during your interview, if they ask you outright, was this the only reason for you to get married? Obviously no. You married for love. Now, was it a part of the reason for you two to get married? Well, yeah. I really wanted my significant other he and I, or she and I, to spend the rest of our lives together. We want to start fortifying our family. We would like to start our family. We'd like to build a strong foundation. Then absolutely, so we decided that now was the time to get married so that we can really start to establish that firm foundation that we've both dreamt about. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's no reason why your application should be denied based on those reasons. Now, I'm going to give you a few different scenarios that I've encountered, and hopefully you can find your case or your scenario relatable to one of them, and that should hopefully give you an insight into your own circumstances and to see whether or not your marriage is likely to pass the muster test. Now, this was not one that I experienced personally. However, there have been cases where people have been brokered into marriage, which means that a third party gets them together and they meet for the first time maybe a day before the USCIS interview. They go on the interview, and then after the interview, they go their separate ways and they never see each other again. However, on paper, they are married. That is not going to pass the muster test. In most cases, that is considered to be marital fraud, okay? So that is an extreme example. Nonetheless, it is a scenario that has actually happened. I've also had cases where people are married, but maybe they're from a certain country, that although it's wrong, you're dealing with human nature here. So there's marital fraud that's suspected right off the bat. And for whatever reason, the officer believes that this marriage may be fraudulent and issues them a notice of intent to deny. In some cases, I have actually withdrawn their application, not because I believe the officer was right in that the marriage was fraudulent. However, having that on your record is going to be more detrimental to you versus just withdrawing, establishing more factors and more support for the marriage, and then refiling again. I just had that happen where someone came to me after being denied through another attorney. So we repackaged everything, submitted the file, and now everything has been approved. And so this is a happy ending for someone who was considered to be fraudulent against the government when that in fact was not the case. All right, guys, so those are the scenarios that I have for you, and that is the information that I have for you about marital fraud, aka sham marriages. I hope that this information was helpful to you. Of course, if you would like to speak more in depth, please call me, because all of the information that I provide through this channel is just legal information and not actual legal advice. Everybody's case is different. Something that may seem like a small factor to you may have a lot of weight onto your case. And so call and speak, if it's not to me, to a legitimate immigration attorney to get your questions answered. Please do like and subscribe. I would love to have you guys join me in my next video, and have a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you are. Bye.